You're checking out online and you see the option, pay 4 easy installments of $25 instead of $100 today. Sounds harmless, right? Maybe even smart. Buy now pay later has exploded in the last few years. Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, PayPal Pay Later, these services processed over $300 billion in transactions globally last year. They're built into almost every major retailer. And they're specifically designed to make spending easier and feel less painful. Today I want to give you the full picture, how BNPL actually works, when it genuinely helps you, when it quietly hurts you, and the hidden trap that catches millions of people who think they're being financially smart. At its core, buy now pay later is a short-term loan. You get the item now, and you pay for it in installments over a period of weeks or months. The most common format is the pay-in-4 model. You make 4 equal payments, usually every 2 weeks, and as long as you pay on time, you pay 0 interest. No fees, no catch, as long as you hit every payment on the schedule. Some BNPL services also offer longer repayment terms, 3 months, 6 months, even up to 24 months. These longer plans often do charge interest, and the rates can be significant. Affirm, for example, charges between 0 and 36% APR depending on the retailer, your credit, and the plan you choose. 36% is higher than most credit cards. So there are really 2 types of BNPL, the 0% short-term plan, and the interest-bearing medium-term plan. They feel similar, but they are very different financially. Let me be fair about this, buy now pay later can be genuinely useful in the right situation. If you need to buy something you were already planning to buy, you have the full amount available in your bank account, and splitting payments over 6 weeks genuinely helps your cash flow without costing you anything. That's a legitimate use case. Think of it like a free short-term bridge. You bought a laptop you needed for work, you have the money, and splitting it over 4 payments while that money earns a little interest in your high-yield savings account is perfectly reasonable. The same logic applies to large purchases where the retailer offers a 0% BNPL plan. If you have the cash and the plan is truly free, there's nothing wrong with spreading the payment out. The problem isn't the tool. The problem is how most people actually use it. Multiple studies have found the same pattern. People spend significantly more when they use buy now pay later compared to paying upfront. One study by the Financial Health Network found BNPL users spent an average of 25% more per transaction compared to paying with a debit card. Why? Because the pain of paying is reduced. Behavioral economists call this payment decoupling. When the moment of payment is separated from the moment of purchase, spending decisions feel less costly. Your brain registers $25, not $100. And $25 feels easy to say yes to. This is not an accident. BNPL companies have studied the psychology of spending extensively. They know that splitting payments increases conversion rates for retailers. The easier it is to say yes, the more people buy, and often things they wouldn't have bought otherwise. The other trap is that BNPL purchases tend to be for discretionary items, clothes, electronics, beauty products, furniture. Not things you need urgently but things you want, brought forward in time by the feel of smaller payments. Here's where it gets concrete. If you miss a payment, most BNPL services charge late fees, typically $10 to $30 per missed payment. That doesn't sound like much until you're managing 3 or 4 open BNPL plans across different services and one slips through. Some BNPL companies now report to credit bureaus. Affirm and Klarna both have arrangements where your payment history can affect your credit score. Miss enough payments and your credit score takes a hit, which affects your ability to get a mortgage, a car loan, or a better credit card interest rate. The larger hidden cost is opportunity cost. Every $100 you spend on something you didn't need through BNPL is $100 that didn't go to savings or investments. At average stock market returns over 10 years, that $100 would have become about $260. The true cost of impulse spending isn't just the price tag, it's what that money could have become. The most financially dangerous pattern with BNPL is stacking. Each individual plan feels manageable. A $30 payment here, a $40 payment there. But when you have 4 or 5 open plans running simultaneously across Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, and PayPal, the total monthly obligation can become significant, and it's easy to lose track of what's due when. A 2023 Consumer Financial Protection Bureau study found that heavy BNPL users, people using 4 or more plans in a year, were much more likely to be financially stressed, carry high credit card balances, and have overdrafted their bank account in the past year. The product didn't cause all of that, but there's a clear correlation between heavy BNPL use and broader financial difficulty. The mechanism is simple. BNPL makes it easier to spend money you don't currently have. Do that repeatedly and the future obligations pile up faster than your income can cover them. If you're going to use Buy Now Pay Later, here are the rules that protect you. Rule 1. Only use it for planned purchases. If you wouldn't have bought the item at full price today, don't use BNPL to justify buying it now. Rule 2. Only use 0% plans. The moment you're paying interest on a BNPL plan, you have a loan. Treat it like one and evaluate whether the purchase is worth the total interest cost. Rule 3. Never have more than one active BNPL plan at a time. One plan is trackable. 3 or 4 gets confusing fast. Rule 4. Treat BNPL payments like bills. Put them in your budget. Set calendar reminders or turn on autopay for each installment. A late fee on a free plan immediately makes it not free. Rule 5. Check whether the service reports to credit bureaus. If it does, missed payments can damage your credit score, which is worth more than any individual purchase. Here's the financial philosophy question underneath all of this. Does Buy Now Pay Later make your life better or just make spending easier? Easier spending and better spending are not the same thing. The services are designed to reduce friction, but friction has a purpose. The slight discomfort of paying $100 at once is a useful signal. It makes you pause and ask if you actually need something. Removing that friction removes a natural check on impulse spending. The most financially healthy people I've studied don't use BNPL much, not because they can't afford small payments, but because they've trained themselves to evaluate purchases against their actual financial goals. They ask, does this purchase move me forward or hold me back? Buy Now Pay Later is a neutral tool. Like a credit card or a loan, it can serve you well if you use it intentionally, and it can drain you quietly if you don't. The truth about Buy Now Pay Later is this: it's not free money, it's not evil, and it's not automatically dangerous. It's a payment tool with real advantages when used correctly and real costs when used carelessly. If you use it only for planned purchases, only on 0% plans, and only when you have the full amount available, it's genuinely useful. If you use it to make things feel affordable that aren't actually affordable, the 4 payments just delay a financial problem rather than solving it. Know what you're signing up for, use it intentionally, and it won't hurt you. Use it on autopilot and it quietly works against you. Subscribe for more straightforward personal finance content. Next week we're covering something most young professionals overlook completely when they start investing. See you then.